It's a COD that changed how Call of Duty is, for better or for worse. Warzone was introduced. It came out a time where everyone was just stuck inside grinding video games.
In my opinion, nothing redeemable about MW 2019 as a multiplayer Call of Duty. It was simply the worst of all time, just a joke of a game where everything that people complain about today is because of that game. It was just the perfect storm regarding people like that game and have the nostalgia of playing with their boys when they were all in lockdown. But that does not excuse the game from literally being the death of Call of Duty. When that game came out, every other COD after it was never the same.
Welcome everyone to episode 267 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right. It's been a good day. I was telling you, some work drama. You just can't escape it. It always is. It always follows you no matter what. But otherwise, I've been good. I woke up this morning. Weather update. There was snow falling. This pissed me off. I could not believe this. And then I talked to my dad, and he got 5 inches of snow this morning too. So I don't know what's going on here. We're like damn near. It's the 23rd. We're doing this. We're nearly pushing April, bro. And the fact that my phone says it's 36 degrees out is a travesty. I'm like,
Spring's coming
spring
though. It
I
is
think
coming.
spring already started, didn't it?
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did technically. But
Yeah, like, dude,
I mean,
when did spring start? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, it started
yeah,
on Friday.
yeah.
What's up with
You
this?
know, we got those 2 days of 70, sunny, and then it went downhill. It's back to being winter again.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to jump to the 70s yet. I want my 55 to like maybe 65. Like I'm
Mhm.
good there. Honestly, forever. That's me, like no problem with that temp, but we can hang there for a bit. We don't need these insanely gorgeous days where it's like, mid 70s or anything. Yeah, they're great, but like dude, I don't want to be wearing winter jackets anymore. I'm over it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
I want to
I'm
wear a
over the
hoodie
seasonal
outside.
depression. Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't like waking up and it's knowing that it's just cold and dark outside. I'm like, bro, this already puts me in a bummer mood, you know.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
otherwise, though, can't complain. You've been doing well, which is good.
yeah. I got. I won't talk too much. I got good news from work, so you can take that how you guys want it.
Hell
um,
yeah.
and then yeah, that's been good. The weather has been garbage, like you said. It's just
Mhm.
rain. It's rain here, no snow, but
Yeah.
like rain, gloomy, cold.
Get it all out of
It,
here.
yeah, it sucks. I'm just
Mhm.
I'm with you. I want it to be 65 and sunny,
Mhm.
and once it starts getting over 70, that's when for me it starts becoming really, really hot. I'm like, all right, I can if it's 70, 75, sunny, but there's a good constant breeze, I'll take that. But
Yeah.
yeah. Over here, once it gets too hot, it starts becoming humid. And then when it becomes humid, everything's just gross and sticky and you don't want to do anything.
Yeah, and it's the only thing that still is nice about when it's bad out regarding temp and everything is I don't feel guilty playing games all day or like being inside.
Mm.
But when it's a Saturday and it's 65 out, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should really take advantage of this day because one, I don't know if we're gonna get another one anytime soon, and I probably should just be outside, like doing some good for the mental.
Mhm.
But like even this weekend, it wasn't too bad. But then yesterday, by me, it was a disaster. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and game. Caught up on some Call of Duty again. Went and watched the matches. I'm like, let me just live like a hermit all day on Sunday. You know, that's what I enjoy. But when
Mhm.
it's nice out, I don't feel I feel guilty doing that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm with you, especially when it's not too hot outside. It's
Yeah.
a good day to just be outside.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm totally with you. But hopefully in a couple more weeks, hopefully a week or two, it's actually nice weather around here.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, dude. It's getting annoying at this point, but it is nice to have just a bunch of games and stuff to be able to play at the same time. We were talking about our back catalog, and I feel that
Hmm.
a lot of people feel the same way. So I use this weather to catch up on those or play Call of Duty because the season's been going good. Really no complaints on the Black Ops 7 realm, which is always nice. So it makes
Yeah,
playing the game definitely enjoyable.
I know, yeah, and we'll get into our big topic of the day, but yeah, I've been grinding Black Ops 7. Last episode, I said that I might hit master. I did hit master within that
It's
week,
done.
a lot
It's
faster than I
done.
expected, to be honest. So, and 10th prestige, I took the my foot off the gas a bit to an extent. Um, I think it's because when I was playing, it was just double XP, and there are a couple of days where I was just staying up,
Mhm.
just grinding like 3, 4 hours at night,
Right,
staying
right,
up
right.
way too late. And then, yeah, now I just do daily challenges and like whatnot, and it gets me a good, decent amount of levels every time I play. But also the CDL, watching the CDL helps because it's fun because I want to get better at the game. And I just know when I'm in that flow state after watching matches, my droppic is shooting super straight. I texted you. I forget what time I texted you. It was late, but
Yeah, it was
I was
past 10. It was like 10:30 or so.
yeah, and I was on Nuketown, one off the nuke, one off the nuke on Nuketown. I have never dropped a nuke on Nuketown before. I was one off, and I couldn't believe it. Oh my god, I was using the
Well,
Dravic.
what was the reaction like, bro, when that happened? What'd you do?
Well, I once I hit 20, I realized, oh, I'm really close. Okay. And I had the harp up too. And I got to 27 or 28 kills. My harp goes away. I'm
When you
like,
get the
yeah,
brutal pops up, you're like,
yeah, yeah. I'm like, okay, great. That's a great time for me to lose the harp. But, I'm predicting where people are spawning. I knew exactly where they were. I died from a straight up gunfight, which is what annoys
"Oh."
me so much. It's not like my bullets missed.
Yeah.
The person just got me. And I had I had to pick up an M8 because I ran out of ammo in my Dravic.
Yep.
And situation of where I died essentially was I was in one of the top rooms on the side where you're not spawning like in the back open area. You're spawning on
Not
the
like
other
that
side.
it's not like that garden, like, area with the garage,
Yeah, yeah. Not
like, on the right. Is
that
the
that
garage on
that
the
side with
right?
the garage. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
On
okay.
that side. On garage side, yeah. So I was in that house, right? And I was looking towards a back spawn, so like behind the garage where they're coming in. But I was
Mhm.
in the room, like the top room,
Yeah.
and I knew they were coming. And I'm telling you, this happened like an instant. Like it wasn't. Oh, I'm sitting there pre-aiming and waiting. I knew they were coming from there, and I hopped up. I'm in the window. I look out. I see a guy. He's coming in. I shoot him, and the guy just rips me.
Oh.
I died instantly, and I'm like, how close was I? I must have like been one off, and
Mhm.
the game ended. I don't know, like for a minute later or something like that. That's the other thing. I was rushed because I was looking at the time. We were playing. I think it was Dom. It was Hardpoint or Dom. I can't remember. I saved the clip, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh shoot, I'm not gonna have enough time. I need to speed this up. So that's when I just started running and picking up kills. But then, yeah, if I don't know, if I just sat in a corner where I sat in that room, I think I would have been fine.
Dude, that's so tragic dying
It
that
was
way.
unfortunate. Yeah. My
But
gunny was just so good. My finger wasn't quick enough
right.
on that kill.
I respect you. Like we said this in our last episode, which people should go listen to it and see the clips because we've talked about this too. Where again, you just admit like it's what happened. You got gunned. It's like no BS being like, dude, this guy with this. It's like, bro, it happens. It's the way it is. But on 29, oh, did you check your
Yeah.
combat
Yeah.
or yeah, your combat record
My
afterwards
record.
and be like, dude, what
Yeah.
this has to have been my highest streak. And you saw that, you're like,
Yeah.
no fucking way.
I couldn't believe it. I thought I again, I've never dropped a nuke on Nuketown in any of the Black Ops because I'm I mean, I never really play for the nuke. I just play, and then eventually you get that brutal, and you're thinking, oh, okay, this can actually happen. But no, usually when I'm playing Nuketown, I'm trying to get levels or I'm grinding camos. So yeah, and I was so close. I thought I had it too. If I just sat in that room and laid down, I would have been fine. But I knew where they were coming from, so I thought, oh, I'd be good. But also part of me too was thinking ahead where if I got this, I don't know if I would have had enough time to call it in and have it be called in.
Right.
So
Like, do you play passive and, like, maybe, like, cut it really close with the
mhm,
time? Or you just I mean, you've got 29 kills. You're like, "Bro, I've been frying. I'm
yeah,
reading these people left and right. I've got this."
yeah, because it's happened to me before in MW3, not the original one in MW3 23, where I got I forget what it was called, the MC, I forget.
Yeah, it was, yeah, something like that. I
It
forget
was a
they
missile, whatever the missile was, and I got it right at the end of the game, and I called it in, and the game ended. That doesn't count to me. Like, it does, but it didn't I didn't get to call it in and have it impact the game.
Right, right. Yeah, which that is almost worse than not getting it. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Because it, like, kinda delegitimizes getting the nuke, you
mhm,
know? But, man, getting a nuke in general on Nuketown is gotta be one of the hardest maps to be trying to get it on just because it's so fast and there's
mhm.
so many, like, BS angles and ways that you can die on that map and because it's so hectic just in general. I
Yeah,
think I'm
and
with you.
playing
I don't
solo.
believe I've ever Yeah, right? You don't have a whole squad trying to cover you. I
Mhm,
don't think I'm with you that I've never gotten a nuke on Nuketown before, because it's again, to actively try for it is so difficult on that
mhm.
map in particular. It just I don't know. It's either like you have to not give a damn about what's going on and just feel that way the entire time, or you have to have people around you that are like aiding
They're
in your
so yeah.
ability, just baiting all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I've been nuked on Nuketown multiple times, actually,
Yeah.
and it's normally because they have, 2, 3 other people on the team that they're not baiting, but they're just, calling out where people are, and they're putting shots into someone, and then you can, like, clean up the kill. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get it though. Maybe it won't be on Nuketown, most more than likely, because
Right.
that was just insane, but I will get one this game. And yeah, so I hit master now, and I'm satisfied. I really like the master emblem, and now my goal is to, I mean, I'm gonna keep playing, but I'm gonna try to hit 100, which I think
Oh,
at
dude,
the
you'll do that.
at the rate that I'm playing, I just want to hit triple digits now. So
Yeah.
with all the double XP that they just keep giving out, I'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, again, the game is it basically has like double XP on 24/7 at times, it
Mhm.
feels like. So getting
It's
those levels in
March
will be
with plenty of time.
right, right. And then also too, because I know I'm in that situation, I'm sure a lot of others are where the amount of double XP tokens that I have is just insane.
Mhm.
Like the amount of hours of tokens that are just saved up. Because
Just
I think
pops
that's a
up.
cool it's a cool concept that they do that and you can get those. But I just feel with the amount of double XP that they give you, they're kind of worthless, unless there's that real
Mhm,
crunch time where you have a goal set and you're like, I want to get all these guns done at this point or hit
mhm,
this level, whatever. Yeah, they can come in clutch, but I thought over the years, honestly, playing with them that I would have way less than I do, you know? I think it was an MW, maybe MW2 or 3, same
mhm.
thing where I did use a good amount of them. Um, but even that good amount, I still had like, 18 hours left, like that many tokens, which was insane. Like I have way more hour tokens than I do 45-minute tokens. Like 45 minutes, I maybe have
Mhm.
like, you know, 10. But for the hours, I've like got, again, 50 to 60 of those easily, you
Yeah,
know?
I think it was MW3 where I cut it really close. I remember staying up and I grinded to hit, what level was it? 1250, 1450,
I think it was
uh,
I think it
1250
was
or 14?
1250, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
I remember popping double XP tokens, just trying to get there, and I was staying up so late trying to get there
I
because I was committed, and I did it.
It's funny because every time that I go and load up StreamYard, I have to I go through our, chat, I type in StreamYard and where
Mhm.
this link is in the text, right above that, you always say I see it all the time. It's like, you gotta hit that 1050, man. That's how I
Yeah.
know this is the right link. And I think back, I think it was that game, that was MW2, I think. MW3, same thing. I remember we stayed up so late just trying to hit the 1250 and just have it done, which is just a sick amount of levels to have to do.
Grinded.
Oh my god, yeah, and, again, not on a great game either, so
Mhm.
it was that was torturous to try to get through
Yeah.
all that,
That
you
was
know?
right around like, right before the new game came out. So,
Bro,
again,
I think it
I
was
I I hit master in March, like,
Yeah,
with all the stuff that just life and whatever.
right.
I think that says a lot, and plenty of other people have hit master already, but, I mean, this game's fun. The fact that I already hit it in March, I wanna hop on every night and actually just play.
Yeah. No, absolutely. This game, when it comes to grinding it out, whether you take it seriously or not regarding the levels, it just is so much easier to play than the previous CODs. Like the amount of hype that those CODs get, through the rose tinted glasses is kind of ridiculous because this game to me, I hear you and I haven't played as much as I should, but I still when I go on there, it doesn't feel like a chore at all. It never has. It's always just a fun game to go and play, um, and yeah, again, you hitting master that early, you know, people maybe don't understand. Like we talk about cutting it close. We're talking like a
Yeah.
week before the next game comes out. I remember us saying that being like, okay, we'll give ourselves like a vacation where we don't
Yeah.
have to play COD for a week. We could just take a break from it and rest up for when the next COD comes out. But we were talking a matter of days. We hit the max level, we're all set, and then we're downloading Black Ops 7. We're just thinking, okay, here we go. Load back
Mhm.
in.
It's a
It's a
commitment.
grind.
Yeah, it's a
No.
commitment, and, I know there are plenty of players that don't it's not just we wanna hit it, it's just a mentality of just trying to get through. Like, I think the fact that we can sit down and play through a shitty game and get through all of that to hit something because we set a goal says a lot. Granted, last
Yeah.
year, I didn't hit the goal at all for BO6. I think I don't know, I probably got to, like, 5th or 6th prestige, something like
Yeah.
that? I can't remember. I
Yeah.
didn't hit it. But yeah, that was because it was the game was
Life.
fun, but it's not good when everyone's shitting on the game. Whereas now it's like I don't I still see people talking about how bad the game is, but it's not the same level of last
Yeah.
year. It's very different. And a big part of it, I like the game. There's just stuff that I enjoy about it. Um, I mean, I want to play ranked. We're gonna have to get you back on so then we can like grind ranked out, or at least get to better rankings where we actually belong. And then they got zombies. Like we have at least 3 or 4 Easter eggs at this point to do, and
Yeah.
I know those are going to be fun to do. And the fact that we don't know anything about this storyline, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
While last year, there wasn't any of that. The game was fun, but no one talked good about it. It was just bad, and the maps too. The maps weren't that great. So
Yeah, when the whole vibe of a game is negative, it's hard to hop on and play it, you know? Even regardless of what you think, you feel
mhm,
like you're dirty playing this game. You know what I mean? You're just like, I don't
mhm,
really know. People legit hate it, but nah, I mean, people may listen and think, dude, it's even worse this year, but this game for me and you as well is way better than Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6 was good, but everything that they needed to make better for this game was definitely improved upon in my opinion. Um, and I'd also say too, it's definitely for us, and I'd say for myself speaking, is that at the end of the year when we do our review on it, we have to know what we're talking about. You know,
mhm.
it's like I saw, and I'm sure you did too. Did you see that guy Jeff Kaplan? I'm just remembering this now. I think he was a developer at Blizzard, and it got
Mhm.
quoted a couple of weeks ago, if that, where he's like, "If you don't play the game, shut the fuck up." Like,
Yeah.
that was in essence, that's what he
Yeah.
said. If you don't play, I don't wanna hear you talk about games that you don't play. No one cares. You have absolutely no leg to stand on, and people were saying, "Oh, that's harsh," yada yada yada. To me, I'm 100%. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you haven't put in a good amount of time into a game, you really have an invalid opinion on it. I think
Mhm.
that you have to really sit down and put in days upon days on a game to know the pros and cons of it and actually look at it constructively, which a lot of times, especially like that's a big gripe with reviewers, is that they're going to go and put out a review within 24 hours of the game launch. Bro, you've
Yeah,
barely
that
played this
yeah.
game. How can you
I
possibly give a review on this game in such a short time? You need to sit down for days upon days with the game to really get an idea of what it is.
Yeah, that I'll never understand how a game dropped literally next day or when the game drops, review of this game. I mean, I get it. Some people get the game early so they can sit and play, but they're not playing for days. I mean, you have to listen to your fan base that plays a game. So, Call of Duty pros, developers should listen to them. They know what they're talking about. They're playing every single day. And look at all the casual players that hop on every single day that play too. They have valid opinions. And I'm pretty sure those opinions will balance out what professional players think as well. So, I mean, it's interesting to see, but again, the fact that it's already March, I got through this game and I always have another game that I want to play on the side of COD, but I haven't been able to do that for at least a good 2 years, to be honest.
Mhm.
And yesterday, I finally got to play another game that wasn't COD, but
Valhalla.
I still played COD before it, which
Yeah,
I think that says a lot. The fact that I
yeah,
still wanted to hop on, get a couple matches in, grind out a couple challenges, and just, get warm.
yeah.
And then I switched over to another game. I load up Valhalla and I looked at my last save. Dude, May 25th, 2024. I'm like, it's been that long.
Oh, damn. We're almost talking 2 years, bro.
Yeah, yeah, nearly 2 years. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I went into that game and those are the games where you load in and if you haven't played for a while, like all um
Oh, yeah.
the why am I blanking?
Like
The
muscle memory and button commands and everything on the
Yeah, yeah,
game,
the
right?
inputs on the game, the
Yeah,
controls, the controls. I
yeah.
completely forgot what the controls were, and I'm trying to figure it out. And I saved right before a boss. I stopped before a boss, and I went and fought this boss, and I'm like, I'm 100 plus levels higher than this person. Why am I getting shit on? I this
Right.
should be a walk in the park. And yeah, I mean, I played a couple hours yesterday, and it all came back. Got used to everything again, and now I'm just cruising my way through that game again.
Hell yeah. Now, dude, but that is a scary experience to be loading up to a game after all that time. And obviously, you've done so much in the game. You're thinking, I can't restart this game,
Yeah,
but
no.
do I? Yeah, do I know like how to play this? Am I going to be able to
Mhm,
relearn it? Yeah, I've done that so many times where I've had games that I put off for years and then I come back to it and play it and have to question myself and think, am I going to be able to relearn this game or should I just restart and go back to the tutorial land, you know?
mhm,
Because yeah, then you go into like a boss fight like that and you're getting tested right off rip and
mhm,
thinking, dude, am I ever going to be able to beat this right now? Or do I just need to actually lock in and figure it out? Because yeah,
mhm.
you lose those commands way quicker than you think. And it's like 2 years off of a game, nearly 2 years off a game is, yeah, that's an insane amount of time to have to jump back into it.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's same with honestly any game. If you're off of it for a while, it's not it's not gonna feel the same, and
Yeah.
you definitely can apply that to COD. If you're off for a week or 2, your shot isn't as straight. It could
Oh,
be a
yeah.
lot better. But yeah,
No doubt.
I was playing Valhalla and I had I think I have 3 or 4 sections left to 100% everything. And I mean, if you guys know me, I those games I go crazy. I have to do everything. Everything has to be checked off the list. And I've done the majority of it. So I spawned in, looked at the map, and I realized, all right, I did the majority of this. This is going to be good. But I didn't remember a lot of the controls. So I had to go back and get into a couple battles to figure it out and picked off from certain missions. But I I'm on the main story again, and it's like, oh, go do this. And it's nice because I already did it. I cleared everything out in this section.
Yeah.
So I literally just went mission to mission to mission to mission, done. Main
Mhm.
story missions all done there. And I can
Yeah.
go back. It's just because I'm OCD and I went and cleared everything, did everything I needed to.
They're like, "Hey, we need this pendant that got lost
Mhm.
like 50 years ago." And he's like, "You mean this?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nah,
That's
that's gotta be that's like where that stuff is really clutch when you don't have to go and
mhm,
like backtrack or you go through and just do the 100% because it does pay off. But do you remember the story, like where you are, what's going
mhm.
on in it, or do you have to watch a
Yeah.
video?
I do now after playing the main story. I think it helped that all the majority of yesterday, I just played the whole story, like the main story. So now I remember like what I'm doing, what my character is doing, and what I'm like looking for. So that helped out a lot. And then so yeah, I'm on my way. I'm actually gonna beat this game. And I mean I'm gonna beat all the games eventually, but
Yeah.
I'm a lot closer and I'm more invested to beating this game. And then for people that care, I'm probably gonna hop straight into Mirage, beat that because it's a nice linear game. Take a break from that, from Assassin's Creed, and go over to Horizon Zero Dawn. Finish that DLC or Horizon Forbidden West, which was that
Mhm.
game came out years ago,
Yeah.
and nice short DLC. And then after that, I'm gonna figure out what big game I'm gonna tackle next.
Red Dead 2.
Possibly, possibly. I
That would be insane. That would
I
be
need to
insane.
figure out because I do want to play the Spider Man.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
not
true, you
gotten to
have
that
most of
yet.
the back catalog. Yeah, you've got options for sure,
I got plenty of options, which is
but
good.
this is all to thank, though, because Black Ops 7 is a good game.
A good
That
game, exactly.
that's
Yeah,
that's where
isn't that
this all
crazy?
because Treyarch did their job, now I can go and actually become a gamer once again. I can play all
Yeah.
my normal shit. Yeah, and then that's where, again, the opinion on that stuff, I still don't understand it. I'm like, dude, for me, having watched throughout the years and, like, we've been playing all these recent CODs, I mean, yeah, we've been playing COD together forever, but this is a rare year for you for sure where you finish that early and
Mhm.
you can go back and play your other games because yeah, there you go. It's been easily 2 years since that
Mhm.
last happened, you know?
Yeah, and I looked at the timestamp, how much time I invested into that game. I was at 90 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not restarting 90 hours of gameplay that I put in.
Yeah. And to think too, man, there's people who will go like for us, whenever when we quote unquote finish COD and hit master, um, we could finally go back and play our other games. But I know there's people out there who they go and hit master and then they think, well, maybe I should go back and revisit some of the other CODs because I'm kind of done with this one. I finished it, you know,
Mhm.
which for me, especially in the past 5 years, the games, bro, like, I'll go and revisit the OG titles, like, on the
Mhm.
PS3 and stuff, but, dude, am I ever gonna go play Vanguard ever again? Am I go hell no. Those games to
Yeah.
me maybe when I'm 50, I'll go back and play those, but not anytime soon.
Yeah, and right, that's been popping on the timeline for whatever reason. I mean, I think the majority of it was because MW4 talk, the next game already, and people have been going back specifically playing MW19. And if you guys have been listening for a while, you guys know our opinions about MW19. It's a COD that changed how Call of Duty is for better or for worse. Warzone was introduced. It came out during COVID, so a time where everyone was just stuck inside grinding video games. But yeah, everybody has been playing MW19, and there's double XP on MW19 now, which is kind of wild to me that they just added double XP, so people are going back and playing.
Well, and you know what the main reason was, though, why I think this is well, definitely why it's blown up is did you see the sale that it was on?
I did see that, yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
$6?
it's actually yeah,
Like, I mean, look,
but still,
I know.
Warzone's free.
I think I tweeted out, I was like, "I still have to think about that." I'm like,
Mhm.
that's a good coffee right there.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. That or
that
MW 2019, like, bro,
I
that
can I can
people are different
understand if you
for that.
never played it. I can
Yeah,
understand if you never played the game, which if it's one of those situations where it's you and I, but reversed on COD, you don't play the new CODs. You wait until they go on a massive sale, and then
yeah.
you buy MW19, $6. Great deal. Cool. I think I saw it was a comment that was like going around. It was MW19 um wasn't a it was something along the lines of MW19 was a bad Call of Duty, but it was a good game. And I'm
No.
like, okay, like the game was not that good. Like I wouldn't say it was a good game. I completely agree that it was a bad Call of Duty. I think people look at MW19 and they see Warzone, which I completely understand, but you need to separate MW19 from Warzone because God, any of those maps, you're telling me you spawned in, you have like your left, your right, your middle, your top left, your top right, that you got to look and there are like 5 windows everywhere. The maps aren't 3 lane maps. You're just running around everywhere trying to find someone. 20 hard points. You can't tell
Dude,
me that's better.
no mini map at launch,
Yeah.
might I add. I mean, man, there is, in my opinion, nothing redeemable about MW 2019 as a multiplayer Call of Duty.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was simply the worst of all time. I would put it up there very easily with Vanguard. Um, just a joke of a game where everything that people complain about today is because of that game. It was just the perfect storm regarding COVID, and that's why people like that game and have the nostalgia of playing with their boys when they were all in lockdown. But that does not excuse the game from literally being the birth of the death of Call of Duty. Like when
Mhm.
that game came out, every other COD after it was never the same.
Multiplayer specifically.
Yes.
I think if you're looking at Warzone, then yeah, obviously it was a success, but MW19 killed multiplayer. That was a start of multiplayer going downhill. And yeah, on the timeline, it's just crazy that so many people love MW19. And I hate that people are saying, oh, well, casuals just love that. No, they don't. Like, don't speak for us because, or, maybe even people listening to this, I'd love to hear why you think MW19 was a fantastic game compared to MW2, MW3, Vanguard, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7.
You
Like,
want Cold War too? Was Cold War after that? Yeah.
yeah, Cold War was after that, but I,
Yeah.
I didn't name that because it didn't have the tax sprint.
True.
Well, technically, this doesn't either, but
Right.
like MW19 changed everything. How the movement of COD and Cold War. Well, Cold War was in development, I'm pretty sure already. So that game came out and people didn't like it.
Yeah,
So
which is still
it's
insane because it's the one COD that is like it predates the ideas of
yeah,
2019.
yeah. It's MW19 is a bad Call of Duty, and yeah, it's a bad Call of Duty, but a good game. That good game needs to be Warzone. It's not multiplayer. MW19, yes, they tried something new. They did not succeed with it. I mean, sales, yeah, the sales speak for themselves during COVID, but everybody was trapped inside. And then, you know, I also saw people point out that MW3, out of those three, like MW19, MW2022, MW23, I think MW3 was the best out of all of them. But I think it was what we said last episode, how we like the original MW3 more than MW2 because it was a more refined version.
Mhm.
MW3 is what should have been MW19 in 2022.
Yeah, yeah, and they like MW 2019 is just in terms of a multiplayer COD, it's bad because everything that was in Warzone that made Warzone great at the time, they just went and copy pasted pretty much all of that into the multiplayer. You know, that's where we got we got like doors that you could move between. They had these, or you could just break through them and open and closing them. I think there may have been breakables in that game to an extent. I can't remember. I know Vanguard for sure did,
I don't
but
think
I
they had
can't remember.
breakables.
Yeah, I don't think it had gotten to that yet. I think it was just the doors
Mhm,
were the main thing, which was obviously an insane move that even CODs like to Black Ops 7 had this to an extent, with some of
mhm.
these doors, and then they got rid of them. So some of the DNA, a lot of the DNA from that COD is still lingering around. Um, but they just totally changed the whole arcadey feel of it that made the game great. It became way too realistic. The maps themselves, oh, the maps
Oh,
are so
yeah,
bad. It was
yeah.
so bad. Like I when I see people on the timeline say like, "Yo, dude, this map honestly," I'm like, "Shut your mouth, bro. There
Yeah,
ain't no way that you could tell me that any like, dude, Euphrates Bridge was actually kind of goated." I'm like, "What?"
yeah,
They were
yeah, no.
all horrible. Just massive maps, no real flow to them. Like you said earlier, 1,000 different corners. Like that legendary clip. I think it was a joke, but it definitely was real. One of those maps where the guys on the side, and he walks into the street because no one's shooting, but the second he walks the street, like 80 guns just
Yeah,
fire on him. I mean, that's what it was like. It was so many buildings and everything about it there was nothing really redeemable about it. They changed the fabric of the game just for the sake of Warzone. And yeah, the Warzone people loved it. I don't blame them. Like, yeah, what a great evolution of the game. But for the multiplayer, dude, we had nothing wrong. We were coming off of Black Ops 4,
mhm,
and people maybe say, like, dude, that's where it was really bad. That to me was some of the peak of Call of Duty. And to
mhm,
go from that to 2019, it was it was almost more than a 180, I know
mhm.
it's not even possible, but it took it in a terrible path.
Yeah, I mean, you can't convince me that Ramasa was a good map. That was played competitively, and to your point too, on top of that, the no mini
I didn't look
maps.
up the
So
maps.
that ran into people using UAVs all the time, and you would just rip people in that game because M4 was insane. And these maps were huge. You got Piccadilly. Everyone talked about Piccadilly, how bad that map was. Freaking yeah. I'm trying to think of all the
Yeah.
competitive maps.
Arklov Peak they played on, that
Yeah.
was where, Huntsman clutched up against Optic. What else did they play here? Gunrunner.
Mhm.
Gunrunner was like, oh, whatever.
That was one of the better maps.
Yeah, Hackney Yard,
Yeah.
yeah, same they play with that, Piccadilly, Ramaza, St. Petrograd, I remember they played that early in the season.
Yeah.
Um, Dog shit map, absolutely massive, and then after that, no, they didn't play any of this stuff. This is all, like, new things that they ended up adding later on. And I'd never played any of these. Season 4, Cheshire Park, what are we talking about? Never seen that in my life. But
Mhm.
they added Rust, they added Crash, they added Shipment, Vacant, because they had to bring back some of the maps. Oh, and this game also did have Shoot House, which Shoot House
Mhm.
has kind of been a staple now. But looking at all those maps, I don't ever want to spawn in on any of those maps again. I
Oh, yeah.
watched Jeb's video playing it, and there's nope. I'm all
Yeah.
set with that. God.
And this game too was the first COD that introduced the season pass, which now every single game is a season pass. So whether you like it or not, and they took away prestiging too, I'm pretty sure in that game. So
Yeah,
we're getting back like all the stuff that we enjoyed in Black Ops 7.
dude, you remember that in that game, you would hit the level, like the max level for the season, and then they'd reset you?
Yeah, yeah.
Or it was either reset you or you'd have to, like, then continue from there. So you were
I
capped
th-
out at the season.
I think that that was later on because I remember
Yes.
you and I complained about that because you felt like well, we felt like we needed to play
Mhm.
more to hit it, and then we would get reset again. That was definitely in Vanguard. Vanguard,
For
I
sure.
think, was when we possibly reset, and then after that, it was we would just continue.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you're right with Vanguard, it definitely happened. I can't remember with 2019 if it was that or if it was that reset thing.
Mhm.
Um And yeah, both of those ideas are horrible, you know?
Yeah.
Just brain dead decisions as to why they would change that stuff. And I don't understand where the division is with this game in particular, where the casuals who do play it talk about it in a good light, and not even as Warzone people, they tend to just like that game. Um, but then when you hear the people who played competitive, as far as I've seen, I haven't seen one pro or former pro talk highly about that game. I always hear them kind of echoing the same thoughts that we have, where it was just an awful year for Call of Duty. Um,
It was the start of
and
the CDL, the launch of the CDL, the downfall of COD.
yeah, like, legit, and
Mhm.
it was what a terrible COD to go and launch the CDL with. Just, and of course, that game got hurt for the multiplayer side and for us in the competitive because they all had to shift to online, and that was, like, the
Mhm.
real death of, what we knew as competitive play. Like, it basically all shifted to online, obviously, during that time. But I don't know. I do not understand all this weird hype about this game again. Um, I mean, dude, people's influence can definitely be bought with $6, which is crazy. That's
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
That's all that it needs. six
Well,
dollars and double XP. You feel like you're getting a good deal, and people say, you know what, this ain't that bad.
yeah.
Like,
And it's just it's biased too. I mean, you're playing a completely different game right after Black Ops 7, which again, look, you look at the sales and the numbers. Yeah, Black Ops 7 is the least successful COD in years.
mhm,
And yeah, but if you look at numbers, it's a unsuccessful game compared to other CODs. But if you look at what's in the game, I think a lot of people would definitely argue and say that it is a successful COD compared to the previous ones that we've had. And
yeah.
my good friend Tyler loves MW19. So I can respect his opinion, but he did say that the downfall of COD didn't start with MW19. It started with the previous games, which I won't deny. It was like Infinite Warfare, uh, Black Ops 4, that's cap, that's insane. World War II. So yeah, I mean COD started going downhill to an extent, but I wouldn't say MW19 was like peak Call of Duty and where it was peak at one point because it brought the time that we were in, we were all trapped inside, and Warzone came out. It was not peak Call of Duty like multiplayer at all by any means. I'm sure maybe the numbers don't lie and people are on just playing, but we were all just stuck inside. You and I played Black Ops 4. That game was great. We played it all through MW19 and we just watched competitive. That was it.
Yeah. The To your point earlier, the fan perception is definitely what I weigh more than the numbers, you know. Again, that game really was a perfect storm, and I do think that in a crazy way, COVID for sure saved that game.
Mhm.
And saved the perception of Call of Duty. Because people held it in a high light at that time, even though the people who
And
knew trashed that game.
yeah, and them launching Warzone. The
Yeah.
fact that they had that BR ready and didn't obviously no one knew the pandemic was gonna hit, and the game came out when all of us are just trapped inside and we can't go anywhere. And the fact that Warzone was actually good. I'm not saying Warzone's bad. Um, imagine if it was a bad game. If it was
Right.
Warzone just sucked.
Or
I
imagine if Top 7 came out at that time.
yeah, it would just be so different. And yeah, I can't get behind that, MW19 was, a really good game for Call of Duty because we've had so many better Call of Duties. Much, much better Call of Duties.
Yeah, I would say virtually every Call of Duty ever made was better than that one.
Mhm,
Again, I went to that whole point of, when the downfall started and all that. I guess it really all depends on your opinion of what changed in COD that was foundational to the game, you know.
mhm,
And for sure, people could argue that the jetpacks coming into it was the real change in a movement and whatnot, but I would just really argue that a lot of the core tenets that have been around with Call of Duty, when it comes to map design, when it comes to movement, perk systems, prestige, all of that stuff. that have, regardless of the movement and like era that COD's gone through, those have always been there. But with that game, they got rid of all of that. And they didn't really give an explanation other than, well, that's what's going on in Warzone, which is our new thing. So we're just going to put that into multiplayer and hope that pretty much everyone's going to live in harmony and play Warzone and then go play multiplayer and vice versa. Whereas for you and me, we had no interest in playing Warzone, and that game was just completely different than everything that we'd played. And for
Mhm.
the worst, they didn't improve on anything. They just made new things up,
Mhm.
and nobody asked for it, nobody wanted it, and it's wild to think that all these years later, people are still holding on to some of that stuff, which
Mhm.
people complained about off rip. I mean, dude, the fact that there was no mini map in that game for a minute
Mhm.
is insane. And then they went and did that with MW2. They did the
Yeah, yeah.
same thing. It's like, what, like Chris answered, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
seriously, how can you get away with that? And then people are like, oh, it
Mhm.
wasn't bad. I'm like, dude, look at the thought process of these
Yeah,
people.
yeah. And MW19 was the game that introduced tax sprint. I've hated tax sprint from the start. I was preaching that from the start, and it's finally gone, and I'm amped about it. Look, I'm playing this game more. Look at
Yeah.
that. And yeah,
Hey, you know why, bro? Because your controller ain't dying.
yeah. Dude, that's the other thing. Yeah, you're always jamming your controller, and I don't know. I've seen a lot of people on the timeline talk about how good MW19 was. I mean, to each their own, man. But the days where COD was amazing and great, I mean, I'd even take after Black Ops 2. That's when COD went downhill. I'd rather take that answer because yeah, jetpacks wasn't for everyone. I can understand that,
Mhm.
but but jetpacks was at least arcadey. We lost that arcadey feel as soon as 2019 came out.
Yeah.
It wasn't
No.
arcadey anymore. And you can argue about the movement, blah, 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 all that stuff. But I'd love to hear what people think and why their reasoning is that MW19 was, peak COD. Well, like people want to go back to that. I've watched Tyler's timeline, watched Tyler's videos. I mean, Tyler blew up from Warzone, so I'm sure that was part of it. But I think we need to separate Call of Duty and Warzone. Warzone is very, very different. I'm not saying Warzone is bad by any means. It helped Call of Duty grow, but it didn't help the multiplayer side at all. Um,
No.
so yeah, I know a lot of people have nostalgia about that, but it's not Call of Duty.
And I'll say, ending on that topic too, what would people be saying about Black Ops 7 if it was on sale for $6?
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. I think people would have a different viewpoint on the game. I think people would start saying that Black Ops 7 is actually a really good game. It's just the fact that it's $70. You know, when you pay
Mhm.
only $6 for something, how much are you really going to complain? You know?
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, the imagine if we took a lot of these games and reverse like the order that they came out. Like you said, if Black Ops 7 came out in 2019, people are going to be playing it. They're going to be playing that game. We're all stuck inside.
Hmm.
And if 2019 came out this year with coming off of a horrible game that people hated, it just doesn't the optics don't look good, Mike. They
They
don't
don't
look
look
at
good,
all.
Justin.
That's why
It's all
well,
about perception.
we've talked about it. Black Ops 7 is a really good game, but I don't blame the people that didn't buy the game because they gave up because Black Ops 6 was awful for them and
Hmm.
they decided, you know what, I'm not going to buy COD anymore. So they decided with their wallets. Very unfortunate timing for Treyarch when this game is actually really good.
Hmm.
But now imagine if we did that. Black Ops 7 came out in 2019 or Black Ops 6 came out in 2019. Who's to say those games, aren't the best Black Ops at that time?
Yeah, no, it definitely just it comes into question regarding, timeline and everything coming up and hitting at the perfect time for people to be invested into a game. And yeah, nostalgia once again, it wins. It plays a role there. People are done with COD. They want to go back and harken onto the old days of playing, which 2019 saying as the old days is crazy, but that was 7 years ago now, which is mental.
Mhm.
Um, people want to go and play those old CODs, but again, like I've said before with the original MW2, same thing. People look at those games and they forget about all the things that sucked about that game when it was like when they were in the moment, you know?
Mm.
But we haven't forgot. I'll never
Yeah.
forget when that game traumatized me so hard. I went back a whole year.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
dude, give me the old COD, bro. Let me play that. Like hit
Yeah, yeah.
master on that game.
Like,
So
out of all those CODs, MW3 was the best one. By far.
yes,
I'll say that. MW3 was the most refined one.
yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy to me that people are talking about MW19, but it also makes me a bit worried about, all right, MW4, what's going to happen with that supposedly MW4? And I think it was Jeb who said it. Might have been Jeb or it might have been someone from the flank, but they're saying just scrap it. Like scrap the MW series. People have said scrap the Black Ops series and just do something brand new. A brand new series, or people are saying do Ghost 2 again. Um, or do Ghost 2, which that's fine. But I think Call of Duty needs a restart. They need a new title. And I think going back to people are saying remaster MW3, remaster World at War. I think it'd be great for us for a couple weeks. Then we're gonna get bored. I think with a new storyline, new characters, it'll make all of us, rethink again and come. We'll get a completely new game instead of it's another Modern Warfare, it's another Black Ops. Just scrap that series. We need to know when to end it.
Yeah, because you get into the like we're gonna start doing Roman numerals for these CODs, like
Mhm,
Modern Warfare 19, literally the 19th one. Like, how far do you want to go with it? I think I don't know. It's just some arbitrary thing. I think after 4 or 5 on a series, I think you should call it. I just
mhm,
think going past that, I think we said a while ago with Uncharted. I mean, dude, they could do Uncharted 7. They could have kept it going, I'm sure. But it starts to become stale pretty quick, and you don't really get excited about those titles anymore because they're not what they used to mean. It's
mhm,
the series has gone in a different direction. The story is far different than what it used to be. Um, and honestly, they don't really need that name anymore. I mean, I think back when Treyarch, I think it was in both of the Black Ops games, especially in Black Ops 1. I remember you'd go into a multiplayer match, and one of the teams, they were called Black Ops, you know?
mhm.
You're like, "All right, Black Ops, like, let's do." Dude, I don't even think they have any team names like that anymore where the title of the game actually has a reference to what's going on in the game, you know? They
Mhm.
just throw Black Ops in front of Black Ops 7 or whatever because they wanna capture those people,
Mhm. They're still
and
using the same characters, which, again, like, I love the storyline, the single player storyline, but at some point, it's gotta end. You gotta call it and restart, and who knows? It's probably good if these developers, decide to rewrite a whole story, something completely new, and then I'm sure that'll make multiplayer more fun. They're not, it sounds dumb, but relying on the single player. I mean, people are buying Black Ops 7, Black Ops 8 because yeah, it's a new Call of Duty, but they're also thinking, "Oh, these are the same characters from the previous year. I love that story. Let's keep it going." But at some point that has to end.
yeah, and they need to put their money and resources and brain power into developing new characters that they don't just kill off in 5 seconds like they did with Black Ops 7, you know?
Mhm.
But we know that was written by AI. It was it was absolute
Yeah.
nonsense. So they need to take time and develop real characters and a whole new thread for Call of Duty to follow down the line. Because I agree, those names are just holding on for nostalgia and holding on to characters to try to get people interested in it. But it's definitely outstayed its welcome. So I agree, they need to revamp the series down the line and give us something new and fresh.
Mhm. Yeah, and it doesn't even I don't care where it takes place. Actually, no, that's a lie. I don't want to have wooden guns. No more wood. I want it modern and on. So even if they did another modern game, just don't call it Modern Warfare. Just it's
Right.
got to be new characters and everything. I'm fine with that. And I think Jeff was the one saying that he thinks they're going to go back to that style of Modern Warfare, that setting. Okay, sure, but just don't call it Modern Warfare and give me new characters. Give me
Dude,
actually a new game.
they did it back in the day. Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare,
Mhm.
Infinite Warfare, Ghosts. Like, I remember when Ghosts came out, that was a big deal because it was like, bro, we don't have Modern Warfare and Black Ops anymore. They're just like Call of Duty Ghosts.
Ghosts.
I remember
Yeah.
thinking of that name, like, damn, what is this going to
Yeah.
be? It was just because it had that intrigue to it. You thought of
Mhm.
it being like, yeah, they're breaking off from the norm here. They're going to try to cement themselves with a new name.
Mhm.
And then same thing. Yeah, we had Infinite Warfare, but these guys got lazy and they're thinking, let's tap into that nostalgia tap right now. Modern
Mhm.
Warfare, we're going to do it again. Modern Warfare 2019. This is the new MW2. This is the new MW3,
Mhm.
But then they have Vanguard,
Dude.
and it's like, okay, get rid of that name.
I'm telling you, when we're in the 2030s, we're gonna look back at MW19, MW2, MW3 again. We're gonna be like, did they really just cash out and make three of the same games again
Mhm.
that they
Yes.
did at that time, like 25 plus years ago?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, I will not take Black Ops 7 slander, especially from people saying that MW19 is significantly better than, you know, the last 8 years of COD or whatever it is. No, definitely not.
Yeah. It was MW19 was a bad year for us all around on the game, and, especially competitively. Everybody hated it. All the pros hated it. It sucked to watch because of COVID. So comparing that at all now to Black Ops 7, where we've got good multiplayer, the rank play is really good too. We've got great matches coming up. We've got Major 2 coming up for the CDL. Like, this
Birmingham.
is prime, yeah, this is prime time. I remember Octane saying it, I've quoted before, "These are the good times." We don't know it now, but in 5 years, maybe even next year, who knows with MW4, we're gonna look back on this, like, "Damn, dude, we had it all." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I know. And yeah, I mean, he's right. We just got to enjoy the good times now, which is exactly
Mhm.
why I've been grinding the game. I'm already master. And the people that aren't enjoying the game are our boys in green over in Boston. They did not qualify for Birmingham, which I don't even know what to say anymore because I know one, I'm not going to trash the team because I guarantee you they're all probably like, I can't believe that we didn't qualify. Fucking Surge qualified, but we didn't. So yeah, Boston and C9 are the two teams that are not going to Birmingham. So obviously, those two teams roster changes need to happen. Um, you and I were messaging in the Discord, which, by the way, go join the Discord if you want to talk CDL and you watch all the matches. But we were watching Falcons versus Surge. The Surge needed to lose, so Boston had a chance to beat Miami to make it into the play-in to go to Birmingham, which obviously not a tough task at all. But we thought that Falcons coming off of a huge win against Optic, they were going to smoke Surge. You know, that makes sense. They just beat a team that was undefeated the whole split, and they lost. Surge beat them somehow, and then we were out. We Boston couldn't make it. Could you imagine? Like, imagine being them. Yes, they got into that position because they played like ass, but they're watching this game. They need the Falcons to win, and statistically, they should be winning, and they lose. Now you're going into a series. You're not going to the major.
Now, I was glad to hear that Ben J. Nassim said the same thing that I was thinking regarding this, is that they should have had the Boston match first.
100%.
Because like for the viewer, after that Surge match, I mean, I didn't really even care about the Boston match because I knew I was just like, okay, well, this is literally worthless for them. other than their morale. And of course, they got 3-0 slammed versus Miami. But yeah, it just was so odd that the first match had a huge impact on the next one. And because of that, or was it the match after, or was it two after? I
It
forget.
was like two after.
Yeah, it made that whole map worthless. And for them too, it was out of their control. If they started off the day with their match against Miami being like, okay, we have to win this. That's our win condition here is if we win this, then we've done our part and it's really just up to fate.
Mhm.
Um, I do think Boston would have put up a better fight. Now, if they could beat Miami, who knows? But Surge did show that when all is on the line, and Falcons maybe throw him a bone. I don't know. Who knows what that whole situation is? But it definitely gives you a bit more fire when you're playing. Um, and yeah, Surge benefited from that, and Boston had absolutely no reason. I'm actually amazed that they even bothered playing that match because like there was no point. It was all over. Like, what do you really care about with this match? They're not going anyway. So it
Mhm.
was sad to see for sure.
Yeah. At this point, they're just playing for, oh, well, roster spots and CDL points. I mean, they're not going to the major. There's going to be a very, very big chance they're not going to qualify for champs. They get 0 points.
Hmm.
And that is tough. Very, very tough for the org. I don't know if you've watched the flank yet, but yeah, I mean, everyone's calling for a roster change. Totally agree. And then some people are saying this org just needs to get out. They're not doing anything. I don't agree with that at all. Uh, I think Boston just needs to make a change. This org is a good org. Maybe management isn't doing the best, obviously, because they're not making the changes that are needed. Tough call, but
Yeah.
yeah, something needs to happen. I think Boston hopefully stays as an org, but they're just not finding the success that they should be finding. And again, these 4 guys right now on this team, they should be placing a lot better. I'm not saying top 4, maybe even top 6. They should not be placing 11th with these 4 guys at all.
Yeah, they if it wasn't clear to them before all these events now, and especially not going to the major, that their jobs are on the line, it definitely is now. No doubt, Spart and Nasty are the only ones that they should keep on that team. I think they absolutely need to look at Snoopy, and they absolutely need to look at Purge. I would say for sure Purge is gone. That's kind of like a no question at this point,
Mhm,
unfortunately. Um, Part of me also wants to say that Snoop, his time, like you have to know when to call it, and that's
mhm,
the thing. It's like you don't want to say it, especially for us since we're huge fans of the guy, and he's a great player. We know it like deep down, but there does come a point where now these are serious consequences that are like come because of their bad performance.
mhm,
And there's only so much time that you can give people to try to step up and make it happen. And Boston's definitely faced with that. If they're serious about trying to make it to champs and stay in the CDL, and be competitive, um, I think they make multiple changes. I definitely think that
mhm,
that's got to be the path for them. Whether or not they do that, though, who knows? I would if I had to guess, they're gonna make one change. They're probably just gonna drop Purge and pick up somebody else. Um, I hope for Snoopy's sake. I
mhm,
hope that maybe that one person comes in and that fixes things, but I mean, there's a real good chance that that doesn't happen. They fix it maybe for like a couple of matches, honeymoon period, and then they go right back to square one. And that's if they're faced with that, they've got to make the tough calls to get to the next level.
mhm. Yeah, I'm on the side of keeping Snoopy still. Call me delusional, but I think Purge needs to go for sure at this point. It sucks, but he's just not performing. Snoopy isn't either at all, but I'm just thinking if you're not qualifying for the major. I'm thinking of the other side. You have 2 good players in Spart and Nasty. You've been holding out for years for Snoopy to show out. You've already invested this time. And unless you can get 2 insane subs that work well off of each other, then yeah, you should go for it. But I don't think at this point, you know, there's no point in just like even like benching Snoopy. Like you should just keep him on the roster still. Um, I think what they should have done was made a two-person change immediately. Cammy and Purge. They could have had Cap. I know they did the Cap Snoopy experiment before, but I think Cap would have been a much better fit on this game with Snoopy than Purge. So, but now they don't have the chance to get Cap, and there's not many subs out there uh, in challengers that will mesh with this team. Like we just don't know. So I don't know. They're in a tough spot. I mean, for sure, I think Snoopy has one more chance, like at most, which is going into Major 3. They're definitely making a change. It's probably going to be for Purge, but he's got one more chance. If this, whoever they pick up or whoever they can get, if they're not performing, and he can't, be activated like the other subs in this game, then yeah, it's probably going to be a two-person change after that.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. Like, and I do. Part of me agree with keeping Snoopy just because, again, like you have seen those glimmers from him, and yeah, you want to hold out hope that he needs just the right people around him. Um, and I think getting rid of Purge and bringing in somebody new, um, I would assume that's what they're going to do. I know they're not going to drop Snoopy off rip. But if they continue to like place where they are and he's still on the team and he's still dropping point sevens, point eights, I think they need to make a change on him prior to Major 3, like going to the event. I mean,
Mhm,
um, they'll be able to see, or they should be able to see from their team performance during the online qualifiers if they're really making progress. Um, and again, if they're serious about trying to make it and, you know, again, qualify for champs, they're gonna have to, make some drastic changes. And Cloud Nine's no different either. Like they're in that situation. I mean, their whole org, I don't know what's going on there.
mhm,
But at least with them now, they've got a couple of players that people see potential in. And they definitely need mentoring. So if there's going to be some pros that want to step in there, maybe some of their top AMs and kind of just have that be like, you know, a like a top AM kind of a team or like a mix of all people that are, doing well right now in challengers. Um, I guess that could be the deal for them, but it's it's kind of good that they're not going just because we know what would happen to them. And that's where people are kind of upset right now with Vancouver too, because Vancouver's going and who knows? These matches every day, Justin, they show we have no idea what we're talking about. So we'll see if land changes this at all. If I would imagine that they're going to lose Vancouver when they go there. I think they're playing LA, or I'm sorry, I was going to say LAG. I think they're playing the Paris Gentlemates. Um, I would only imagine that Gentlemates are going to win that match. And then Surge, that'll be it. They just take it, get the next flight home, which would suck. But
mhm,
yeah, it's a tough situation for us not going, and then some of these teams that are by the skin of their teeth going,
mhm.
because I don't think their time is going to be very long there in Birmingham.
Yeah, and you know what's annoying too is that Boston didn't make it because of one match, dude. Like from third to 11th, everyone's within like 10 points of each other. It's like a tie. The
Right.
only clear team in the front is Optic.
Hmm.
Like take away the players and everything. If you look just at the points, it's insane. It would have been like a 5 or 6 way tie if Boston won and Surge lost.
Yeah.
Like, which is why I don't think they should still keep the team, but that's why it still gives me hope that Boston can capitalize. Everybody is so close still in that middle pack. Um, Even Thieves is in that. I know Thieves had a big win against Gentlemates, but I'm not writing off uh like Gentlemates at all. Like, all these teams are so close with each other. The only clear cut favorite is Optic. I think Optic is really far ahead of all these teams. But again, Boston needs to make a change. But I'm not going to write off Boston completely because if mates look this bad against other teams, Falcons beat Optic. They just lost to Surge. Like, we don't know. Boston could come out and beat all these teams and then maybe get smoked by Optic. But, Boston could be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and showing up to land too always brings a new element in the equation of how these teams are going to perform because that's the real question mark now with some of these teams, and particularly Carolina. They've looked really good online. Once again, they're having a resurgence here. But the jury's really out on how that team's going to do because we know what happened last time. They looked like absolute gods going into Major One, and they got double first rounded, smoked, sent out of the arena. Um, I know if Boston sees that happen to Carolina, they're just gonna be punching walls because,
Mhm.
again, that's a spot that they totally ate up and didn't use, where Boston, granted they put themselves in the situation, but who knows how it would have played out when they go to land or, like I said before, if they had the actual ability to fight for what they were gonna be,
Mhm.
for their position, or their ticket to go to Birmingham. Yeah, it was just it's unfortunate, and the whole situation around, and again, I don't know what to expect with this major. I can only imagine, of course, that Optic for sure is going to make it to Sunday, in their current form. Will they win it? I mean, the stats would say yes.
Yeah.
They're 10-1. And the only real competition that they've had, like regarding placements, has been Miami, who looks really good. But I don't know. I'm excited because maybe they show up and they get absolutely fried and we get the gentlemates are back and they look insane, or like for me, I'm wondering with Thieves right now. Thieves look like they're hitting a good form. um are they going to continue that on land, or are all the other teams just going to actually step up and show them that, yeah, you still have a lot of work to do? I have no idea how this major is going to work out, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, I think Optics is a clear cut favorite. I'm predicting that they're going to win by a
Yeah,
mile.
same.
And obviously, the stats have showed. And this major is just weird. I don't like it, obviously, because all the teams aren't going to it, but also the play in. So if you didn't make bracket, essentially it's an 8 team tournament. That's really it. So the other two teams, there it's one round or one series. It's not even double a limb. I'm pretty sure it's single limb within the play in, which is I believe it's Surge, Gentlemates, Phase, and Carolina. Oh no, not
Yeah.
Carolina. I for G2. Like two of those
Yeah,
teams
for
are gonna go out.
Yeah, I have it pulled up for breaking point. Yeah, Carolina and Gentlemates, Thieves, Vegas, which would be good, G2 and Falcons, and then Koi and Surge.
Yeah, like the
That's in that play in.
teams are gonna get eliminated. You got
Yeah.
one series. I'm pretty sure it's not double limb. You got one series and then you're out. So imagine we see. I mean, you would expect G2 to lose. You'd expect those bottom teams essentially, not the name brand teams. But we can see
Oh,
Gentlemates out immediately.
forgive me. Yeah, the play in ones, yeah, because I just looked. There's winners round one that's in there too. But yeah, the play in is Ravens versus
That's
Gentlemates, and then the other one is Koi versus Surge.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
those
Man,
four
it's
teams,
gonna be
two
nuts, dude.
two teams are making it out of that. You got one series. I don't know what's worse. Can you imagine flying all the way over there for Gentlemates and then just get knocked out? One
Well, and
series,
and
you're
that's
done.
And that's the thing too, like, what's concerning because think about Carolina. I mean, dude, if Carolina doesn't win that, they have to change.
Mhm.
Something's not connecting. I would think they've got to do something because they can't. Yeah, technically they can. Sure, they could stick with this team and coast through online and then show up at the majors and get shit on and then show up to champs. Like I guess. But who knows how they're gonna do? Maybe they prove everyone wrong and they show up and they've learned from their mistakes and they're really good. And yeah, gentlemates don't really look all that great right now. That would be unbelievable to see that if Gentlemates go from winning Major 1 to this getting just first rounded, see you
Top
later.
10. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legit. It would be unbelievable, and I think
Mhm.
for that team, they would have to consider the possibility of a roster change because that's not just like a slump.
Mhm.
That's an insane slump to then carry to land like that.
Mhm.
Um, will they do it? Probably not, but I think you'd have to think about it, like
Yeah.
how deep does the rot go? Like
Yeah.
how long do you let it continue?
I think it'll cross our minds. Realistically, I think if they place top 10, I don't think they're gonna make a change. I think they're gonna ride out with this team through Major 3,
Yeah,
but I think it'll cross our minds at least, but it's you have to get rid of one of those 4 players, and the fact you've already proven to yourself that you can win a major, I think that holds a lot of value on the team.
yeah.
Yeah, obviously you regressed severely in like 2 months, essentially. But, you did win a whole chip with this current team.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. I mean, it's a tough call to make. I probably would lean towards more what you're saying, come to think of it, but um it comes down, I guess, to the management and thinking like,
Mhm,
yeah, those guys can they win, sure, but they haven't done it in a minute, and that's a big time regression there. And how much do you value that? Do you think they can make it out of it, or I guess it really depends how they do in Major 3 in the qualifiers.
mhm,
But yeah, there's
yeah,
there's a lot of teams to watch. Like I think every team in the mid pack there, hopefully we'll get some answers. I mean, we will get some answers as to who's going to be up on the top there. I hope to see FaZe doing well. They have been looking a bit better, and same thing with Thieves. Um, I do just want some more competition for Optic right now. I hope that it's not a blowout. I hope that Thieves all of a sudden come alive and we get a Thieves Optic grand final and we're just thinking, holy shit, dude, they've done it. Like,
mhm.
this is the version of the team that we were looking for. Um, I want to see something like that, but again, we'll have to wait and see. The matches are starting up. I mean, yeah, we're doing this on a Monday, and they're going to be what, Thursday or Friday they start.
Yeah, yeah. I think, the
Yeah,
27th is
yeah,
Friday.
27. Yeah, so it's gonna be a good event. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be weird though, not being there.
Mhm.
We're just gonna have to watch it on TV.
And we're gonna have to watch
Same
in the
thing.
morning.
Yeah, I know, right? That's gonna be strange. I'll have to figure out that time difference because yeah, I'm gonna be making my coffee and watching the major, which it won't hit the same.
Yeah, it won't, it won't. Espe
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
But,
watching it at night always hits.
yeah, it'll be good, though. I mean, I think this major it's gonna show the teams that are really gonna rise to the top because it's land, but I'm
Yep.
very curious to see where Thieves are because, to be honest, I don't think these are gonna win. I don't think they're gonna bow out early. I do think Optic is just gonna sweep. I really think they're just gonna run the floor with every single team they play.
Yeah.
Um, but if Thieves lose, I think they're making a change, and unfortunately, it's probably gonna be Neo. He's just odd man out.
Yeah.
Um, and if that does happen, I wonder who they're gonna pick up. Part of me too is like thinking, I'm gonna predict it now. It's March 23rd. Not this year, maybe next year at some point. In the next 2 years, Pred is gonna be on LAT. LAT Pred. Could you imagine if Pred was on the team now?
It'd be psycho.
Abizi and Pred. I mean,
Yeah. That
someone's gotta turn into like a flex ish, but Abizi, Pred, and Hydra.
Pret Pret just has to, he's gonna have to take a little bit of a pay cut though, I'm sure,
Huge pay
to be
cut.
good,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
It's like Nate Shot's gonna have to, he's gonna have to do some extra streams in order to pay for
Mhm,
Pred, but no, I can see it happening for sure. I mean, look, if we've shown anything or seen anything over the years that these guys more often than not will do anything that they can to win. And if they're not
mhm,
winning and they're still making good money, they're gonna go somewhere else and try to win there.
mhm,
Um, and that's why it's always nice watching these majors is because you never know. This could be the last time that you watch this iteration of the team perform.
mhm.
And over the
And
course of a year, when you see the
mhm,
evolution of teams, you're always like, damn, it's crazy
mhm,
to think that that's what it used to be, a
mhm.
couple of months ago.
And I want to see too, like last thought, the OG phase team, that trio. I want to see who wins first. And if I have to put money on it, I think Simp is going to win first. And it'll kind of just be poetic that if Simp wins first, it's like I wasn't the problem.
Right.
I didn't need the other two to keep winning,
Yeah.
and the same org is still winning.
Yeah, that's gonna be a cool moment to see if any of those guys from the trio pull it off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who wins
that'll
first?
definitely be that thing to separate them from the rest of them, and saying that, yeah, they
Mhm,
don't need each other. They can win just fine without them.
mhm,
So there's a lot of storylines going into this. So,
mhm.
I mean, man, I leave it on that, honestly. I think it's gonna be great. We'll obviously be talking about the winners. We can't make our joke, Justin, quite literally. We'd say Boston breach. Nice
Yeah,
job on the win,
man,
but
they already got
they ain't
eliminated and they
even
didn't
gonna
even
fucking
make
be
it.
there.
Dude, they got eliminated and they didn't even get to play.
So I will say congrats. I don't want to jinx it. Optic. I think Optic's
Mhm,
got it. I think it's
mhm.
going to be Optic Miami. I think that's going to be the grand
That's
finals. Optic
that's a good shout.
Miami.
I'm gonna go with what Shotzi said. I think Optic Phase, the E. Well, that's not the E Classico, but classic Optic Phase match. I think that's what it's gonna be. Um, do I got a wild card? Uh, honestly, I can't really even predict a wild card because it's.
Carolina.
I mean, I guess my wild card would be Miami. Mid, yeah, probably Miami. They're probably the second most consistent team, I would say, but I feel like there's Optic and then everyone else.
For me, man, my wild card would be Falcons to see
Mhm,
what version of them shows up. They've got holes in their game for sure,
mhm,
but if they clean
mhm,
it up and we get all those guys, I mean, Exnid,
mhm,
that dude's been popping off.
mhm,
If he comes to land, starts commanding the troops, getting
mhm,
everyone fired up, we get a couple of pred deads. I mean,
mhm.
it could get a little crazy.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't want to say Falcons because that felt a little more delusional than a wild card. But
yeah,
that
no, that's
that
true.
would be that would be crazy if the Falcons win. Just
Yeah.
sell wins without Simp and Abizi.
Oh, yeah. That would be sick. Seeing that as a grand finals against
Mhm,
Optic, if that's what it's going to be, that'd be
mhm.
cool for
If
sure.
any of those mid-tier teams end up winning a major this year, none of us know what happens. Like
Yeah.
none of us know anything about COD.
No, no.
Everything just fell perfectly for them. Like there's no chance Carolina can win. If
Right.
Carolina won somehow, it's like when LAG won that Vanguard
Bro.
major. It made no sense.
If Carolina wins, I'm buying lottery tickets for days, my friend. That's what's
Yeah.
happening. If that
Yeah.
happens, bro, yeah, all hell is broken loose. Yeah, start start going and testing your luck because, bro, that'll be that by the grace of God, that team will win.
If they win, I'll go buy a Burger King feast for the Burger King.
There you go. Shout out to the man himself. But
Yeah. With that though, I think we covered everything. No, we went a bit over
that's it.
with all of our topics, but yeah, I mean, for the people watching on YouTube, let us know down below. What do you think about MW19? Do you give me a reason why this game you think is a good game? Because
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything. And this is separate from Warzone. MW19 as a Call of Duty. I need to know why you think it's a good game. Um, but yeah, leave that down below in the YouTubes. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're also on anchor.fm/the COD Casuals. We're on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that stuff. And if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we chop it up and post it on Instagram Reels and TikTok. So go over there and give us a follow. Also, leave a 5-star rating because it helps us out
Mhm.
a ton. And I'm going to shout it again one last time. Go join the Discord if you want to watch CDL, especially Major 2. Go join the Discord down below in the description. And yeah, go talk to us about CDL.
Absolutely. We're always there.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. This has been episode 267 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin,
And I'm Mike.
and we'll talk to you next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.